TV. Paid in Full TV.
L.A. was loved by many, soaking up knowledge from older hustlers around him. He had an aura that when he came around, people would light up to greet him, because that's the love he brought with him. He had hustler's ambition starting at a young age. He began selling weed for a notorious stick-up kid in Harlem. He had sold all the weed but spent the money on jewelry and clothes with his friend Doo-Wop. To try to get the money back, they turned to another childhood friend named Craig O, who showed them how to mix sage and eggs and sell it as fake hash. It was L.A. and Doo-Wop who set the pace for the younger generation of hustlers. They became the first young guys to generate much fanfare. Before high school came around, L.A. was already selling heroin and cocaine on 127th Street and 8th Avenue for an older guy named Ron Mack, who ended up serving time, leaving him to start buying his own cocaine and formed a crew of hustlers which included Richard Porter. L.A. went from dirt bikes to motorcycles to being one of the first young guys as a teenager to buy a brand new foreign car. A black-on-black Saab 900. He would drive around with the manufacturer's sticker on the window, to let it be known how much he paid for it. L.A., Doo-Wop, Rich Porter, and Craig O were the first young guys in Harlem moving cocaine on a major scale, without being attached to older hustlers. In Doo-Wop's words, they were independent. Harlem was L.A.'s stage and he performed well. He enjoyed making money and enjoyed shining. Although L.A. was his own boss, he would often be seen on the block selling his product hand to hand if his workers didn't show up or were late. He was a friend to many, but success can breed envy, even from those you treat good. One of L.A.'s drivers robbed his apartment in Yonkers when he left his keys in the car. L.A. found out it was him and spared his life with a well-deserved, royal beatdown. Not too long after that, the snake eyes were still slithering. L.A.'s mother's house was robbed and allegedly Ron Mack was the culprit. When Ron came home from serving time, L.A. treated him well. Gave him money and put him onto his personal connect, something that was unheard of. When L.A. found out who was responsible, it became wartime. Shootings would break out with L.A. and the guys responsible. One day, L.A. and Rich was on 144th Street and 8th Avenue, when they spotted Ron Mack sitting in a convertible car. L.A. and Rich began to run towards Ron with guns out. A Jeep pulled up beside Ron and blocked them in, trapping them off. Ron threw some money at the guys who were known hitmen, and they let them drive off at the same time that L.A. and Rich approached. "Damn," L.A. said. "Why did you let them go?" "I'm a businessman. The best price gets the job done." L.A. negotiated a price right on the spot and gave the hitmen some money. The beef was still on. But Ron and a couple of guys responsible for the robbery had got locked up for something unrelated. One night in 1984, L.A. decides to go to the rooftop and just hang out for a little while.
I wanna go sleep all night with my honey bun. Give me some of that yummy yum yum. Yeah, of all the animals in the world, I'd rather be a squirrel. So I can climb up on the highest mountain and shit all over the world. Oom-tang, oom-tang, I don't wanna go sleep all night with my honey bun. Give me some of that yummy yum yum. Of all the animals lions running in the jungle. I'd rather be a monkey. So every time you come up with that thing, I'm about to make it funky. Oom-tang, I don't wanna go slept all night with my honey bun. Give me some of that yummy, yum, yum. Of all the reptiles in the world, I'd rather be a snake. So I can climb right under girlfriend's dress and watch them titties shake. Oom-tang, I don't wanna go slept all night with my honey bun. Give me some of that yummy, yum, yum. Of all the insects in the world, I'd rather be a mosquito. So I can climb up in some silky clothes and exercise my feet up. World famous DJ Hollywood, y'all.
The guy crept up from behind and shot L.A. in the neck and back several times. L.A. got off the ground, holding his wounds, and started walking up the block to a friend's car, and laid across the hood, and then slid off to the ground. L.A. was picked up by two other friends passing by and took him to Harlem Hospital, where he died at the age of 19. L.A.'s last words were, "I have to go buy my mother a fur coat today for her birthday." L.A. died on his mother's birthday. 1 year later, his mother passed on L.A.'s birthday. May she rest in peace. L.A. loved Harlem and Harlem loved L.A. One of the first young dudes that set the pace for the new generation of hustlers.
Now we think of my friend when Rich no longer was just Little Rich. RP, envy, and jealousy had struck through Harlem. He was a young kid emerged from really nowhere. Hadn't, if we would say, paid his dues in the streets. Hadn't been to jail for nothing. Had just become successful. And there's a place on 109th Street. 109th between Columbus and Amsterdam. Nice little spot to get your car washed. Nobody in the neighborhood, there ain't no girls there. And we're there. I had a black Cherokee Jeep, customized rims on it and lambskins. And Rich had a Wagoneer, a nice sound system. I think he was putting some rims on it, not sure. But anyway, we're there, getting our car washed, listening to music, having a good time, just enjoying life as it is as a teenager could. And we leave from the car wash, make a left 109th, go to 108th Street. As we come down 108th Street, the Rich is, my sound system is on. I'm already silicone tires, long before Armor, they're doing silicone. And the silicone's pumping. System is on. Never forget, I was listening to a big mouth. What we know now is known as a gunman, a shooter. He's got the gazelles on, black hat, black coat, and the Roscoe in his hand. Apparently he had followed us. The shooter's already in place. He's in position. He's lining my man up. I look, and I'm looking at him, and I'm thinking Rich sees him, but he doesn't. And at that point, I'm continuously blowing my horn, beep, 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 telling Rich, like, go, 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 go. And by the time Rich looks in his mirror and sees me, the gunner's coming off the curve now. As he's coming off the curve, 1 + 1 = 2. Rich knew what to do. Get the fuck out of there. At that point, he took off. And he's trying to gather, I guess, he had his, had his Roscoe with him, so he's trying to get his Roscoe, But does he stand there? What does he do? He's a little discombobulated with kids. You don't know at this point. And as fate would have it, he's driving down the block trying to get away and trying to get his Roscoe. At the same time, a foot cop is walking down Columbus and sees and hears the shooting and begins chasing Richard. Not the gunman, chasing Rich on feet. Rich, of course, driving, couldn't get away because of traffic, and wind up doing, I think, 6 or 9 months on Rikers Island as a result of the gun charge. He had bulletproof vest, beat the vest charge, and he escaped death that night. The young kid, he ran, and we drove behind him. He got away, but it was fate, that saved him.
Once Rich Porter came home, he stepped right back in the game like he never left. Courtesy of AZ. Rich received money, large sums of cocaine, and a brand new car to get back to business.
Paid in Full TV. Paid in Full TV.